Hey guys, it's Rob and Paddy here from Twisted Bard, and we're here to talk about some of the games we played at EGX, and we're going to talk about one specifically. We're talking about Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which Paddy
Mm,
was fortunately able to play.
I was, I
How
was.
long? How long was the queue for it?
The queue, I'd say, was probably about an hour and a half. I
And
think.
does that? And before we get really into it, does it feel worth the hour and a half?
I don't know if any. It's
Yeah.
probably kind of counterintuitive to going to a show to play games at demo games, but I'm not sure that any demo is necessarily worth queuing up for 2 hours for. Like I don't. I think well, we'll come to it when we actually talk about the game, but I think having demoed Origins last year and now Odyssey
Mhm.
this year, I don't think Assassin's Creed demos well, especially
No,
when you make
I remember.
big
I remember when you're
changes to the
talking
combat.
about.
Yeah,
Remember when you were talking about Ala Origins last year? You really weren't sure about it, but I remember when you actually played the game, you really
yeah,
enjoyed
man, I
it.
loved it. I got the platinum
Yeah.
trophy. I played I don't know how many, like, loads and loads of hours. I absolutely adored it. But it's
Mm.
exactly the same problem as last year. So you get to the you kind of can watch people play it. Like you're watching over people's shoulders, and they had I saw people were doing the new kind of large scale combat that
Mm.
they've got, which looks sort of
Okay.
interesting. So
So I suppose
yeah,
I suppose that leads us in. Before we go into opinion, why don't you tell us through what you actually played on the
yeah.
game? What part of the game?
Yeah, so you could choose if you wanted to play as Cassandra or the guy. I can't remember what his name is.
Alexos or something?
Yeah, Alexos. I
Alexios?
chose Cassandra because I think that's what I'm going to do when I actually get it. I feel like that's sort of the direction they kind of are pushing you. I mean, they're not pushing you towards,
Okay.
but I've seen a lot of her, and she seems like a more like we've never had a single female protagonist as an Assassin's Creed game before. So I want to see what it's like playing as her and what her story is going to be like.
Okay.
So I chose her, and then it dropped you in as level, I think, about 22. So same as last year, really. You're further advanced in the game. You've got a few more moves, I suppose. And then you could go up and talk to a general if you wanted to. And I did that, and it's like, do you want to fight for Sparta? And they're like, okay, I'll fight for Sparta. And that drops you into that large bit of combat, which has got loads of people. And I promptly got my ass handed to me because guess what? I don't know what the controls are. And
Yeah, I remember it being really
yeah,
weird between the right bumper and the right trigger and all that
yeah,
kind of
exactly.
stuff.
Also, new enemies, lots of shielded enemies. I guess
Mhm.
that's more period specific, but nowhere does it tell you that you've got to use a heavy attack to kind of push the shields away. And then I kept not doing that. Like, wasn't sure quite how to use a heavy attack, and I kept getting my bow out. And it's almost like I hate games that over tutorialize things.
Mhm.
I get it. I played games for a long time. I don't need you to tell me like every A to jump. Like I don't need
Yeah.
that. But at the same time, you do need to, I think, ease your way into a combat system. Like you need to kind of bed your get a ground for it, get a feeling for it. Because I didn't really
You
feel orange.
start with an easy fight, which is
Yeah,
one
exactly. And
person.
then
You know what I mean? Then you go,
you
oh,
build
now I
up,
get
and I
this.
get it. I know
Yeah.
how to. Or with the first time you fight shield guys, I guess, because there's a lot of them. It's like it might give you a hint of what to do.
Mhm.
So once I died, I desynchronized, I dropped out, and then I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna run around. So
Mhm.
I did that for a bit, which was great, and that was, it looks incredibly beautiful. I mean,
Mhm.
it looks like Origins. I think the combat's quite similar, but now there's a bow. Maybe that might not be the same with Alexos, but definitely for Cassandra, there's a bow on the left trigger that you can
Okay.
whip out anytime. And I tried to do a little camp thing, and then I like in Origins, the camps
Yeah,
that are
like
running, and there's like a
yeah,
general guy in there. So
I like the outposts like they
yeah,
do
exactly,
in
like
Far
the
Cry. Yeah.
outposts. Yeah, so messed around in there a little bit, then ran around, really climbed a big statue, and
And so
then
are you
someone
just
tapped me on my shoulder and
saying?
scared the shit out of me, and it was time for my demo to end.
So you just saying more of the same, or are you seeing
Yeah,
anything
man,
new
it
there that you
is.
really enjoyed?
If you played Origins, and liked Origins, like that, the end of Origins is basically what this game is.
Hmm.
I won't go into that just in case, but
Yeah.
when that changes sort of location and scenery a little bit, like this is very much what it is. I did see other people on a boat, like proper naval combat, so I think this is the full Assassin's Creed experience. The one thing that I guess really hard to demo, but I'm disappointed I didn't see was this because lots of people have been talking about how this is not quite Assassin's Creed as you know it. Like this is the Assassin's
Mm.
Creed RPG, the one
Yeah,
where you
with the
can
dialogue trees and all
yeah
that kind of
dialogue
stuff.
trees and you can shape the story a little bit and you can influence things. None of that whatsoever. I went up to this general. He's like, "Do you want to fight? Do you not want to fight?" And it's like, it's A or B basically. And
Hmm.
hard to demo that in 20 minutes. I get it, but if you wanted to say this is the one thing that we're doing differently this year, and this is why you should pick up this massive Assassin's Creed game, then didn't have that in the demo. So for me, it is. I mean, it's going to be the same as it always is. I'll wait for the reviews. If they're good, I'll get it because I love the series and I really liked Origins. If they're not, then I haven't been convinced to pick it up or not convinced to not pick it up from the demo.
No, bro. I mean, look, I think that brings us around to the first point that you made. That sometimes when you're just trying a game out for 20 minutes, it's really hard to get a real good feel for it, especially with a game that's so broad as well. So yeah, I think that is still nice to have a first impression though, just to give you a bit.
Yeah, I mean,
of a taste.
it probably sounds quite like coming across quite negative. I just don't think the game necessarily demos well. Like, it looks beautiful, it sounds amazing. I'm excited to hear what it's about and to see the impressions of people who've got to spend more time with it than I did. But I didn't come out of there being like, oh my god, pre-order now.
Wow.
But also, I'm no less excited. I think having done it last year, I knew what I was getting into, and it sort of clicked in my mind. Like, actually, this is not a series that necessarily demos that well, or maybe you just can't get that much from a 20-minute demo. It's more the excitement of having your hands on something that you've never played before.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that will be a good time to wrap it up. I think it's kind of one of those ones where you probably are going to buy it by the sounds of it, because I think it's one of those series that is just reviews pretty well, just as long as they hit all those main broad strokes, really. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and all that, because we do this sort of stuff quite often now. So be sure to keep an eye on the channel. We're going to do some more early impressions videos as well. We've got one lined up for Starlink, Battle of Atlas. We've got one lined up for Total War, Three Kingdoms, and was there any others?
Yeah, we're doing Dreams. We're doing the Division 2. Soul Calibur 6. We've got a whole bunch more, but they'll come.
A whole bunch more.
They'll come as and when. Yeah, as and when they're ready.
Over the next few weeks. So yeah, before to keep your eye out for that. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.